30 seconds and counting. T-
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish and I'm joined with Roman. And the Texans have officially interviewed Brian Flores. And this actually just came out of nowhere because we didn't get the news that the Texans sent out an interview for Brian Flores. They just went ahead and did it. And so that just goes to show you how tight-lipped everyone at Houston is as far as leaking information out. But this is a great news to hear. Brian Flores is one of the top candidates this coaching cycle, and there's a lot of reasons to like him. The reasons why he got fired is not mainly like X's and O's, but more so relationships, especially with Tua Tagovailoa, who there were some rumors. I don't know if they're true or not. Whether he said I don't think they're true. I think it was proven true. But he did have a rocky relationship with Tua, and as a result, the GM, who has been there for way longer than Brian Flores. But as you all know, Brian Flores, his coaching record as a head coach is 24-25. In his first season in Miami, when they were rebuilding, they arguably had the worst roster in the league, with no Pro Bowlers or All Pros on the team. They were 5-11, and then the season after they won 10. They were 10-6, and this past season, this current season, they were 9-8, and they won 8 games in a row. So obviously, there's a lot to like from Brian Flores. But Roman, what are your initial thoughts on this news?
Yeah, just instant reactions. The fact that we really didn't hear about this or hear about any interview meetings or anything like that, that nothing leaked out, that's pretty surprising to me. And that means that Nick, he's gonna move through this whole process and through his whole GM tenure here in Houston with really not letting any leaks out. Like anything that maybe Aaron Schefter or all those national media reporters say, most of the time they're either gonna be late information getting to them, or most of the time it's gonna be false. Like most of the stuff that they've been saying, I mean, I guess it's true for the most part, but it's been late getting to them. Like nobody knew about really Brian Flores until today. Houston media, national media, nobody. And in terms of like Brian Flores as a coach, if he were to be hired here, yeah, I would really love to hire. Especially going back to that thing with Tua. If that is true, that encounter with Tua did indeed happen, then I mean, I would be a little bit, I guess, scared in a way. Hopefully, he wouldn't treat Davis Mills like that, or if we sign a veteran quarterback or anything like that. I hope he wouldn't treat our quarterback like that. I don't think he will. I think it's just blown out of proportion. I think maybe the media is overreacting or just rumors going crazy. But yeah, I would personally really love to hire. And just going back, very surprising. Nobody really heard about
Yeah, he's been regarded as a coach who really elevates the roster, and a lot of his the players who played for him, were really shocked at the news. So it really shows that he didn't deserve to be fired at all. And just more on why he got fired. Apparently, he stopped communicating with his staff around Thanksgiving, and also in general during his tenure, there's a lot of turnover at offensive coordinator position. So there are some question marks there. But overall, Brian Flores, there are some concerns as controls, how much control he wants, how he will feel with Nick Casario in the booth. But I feel like they have a better connection, obviously, with Brian Flores and Nick Casario going back to the Patriots days. As a coach, Brian Flores has 18 years in coaching. He was a Patriots special teams assistant 2009, assistant offense and special teams coach for the Patriots in 2010, defensive assistant for the Patriots in 2011, safeties coach for the Patriots in 2012 to 2015, linebackers coach in 2016 to 2018, and then the Dolphins head coach from 2019 to 2021. So obviously has extensive head coaching experience. And so experience is not the issue, and his defenses are pretty good. The Dolphins, they finished top 10 in the league in defense, so that's pretty good. Our defense is one of the things. Our defense did okay in the turnover area, but as far as run defense or pass defense, they were kind of the bottom of the league. So definitely bringing a guy with that kind of defense is good. And as far as scheme wise, he has a different scheme. Lovey is probably gone as a result if Flores goes to clean out. Do you want to talk more about how the scheme changes and which players might be affected by it?
Yeah, some different players that would probably be affected by it. Obviously the defensive line. Going back to more of a traditional 4-3, I guess. And one thing in specific, it's gonna be a bunch of more interior pressure. Like we see Christian Wilkins over there. I think he had like the most tackles by interior defensive lineman this season, or something like that, something crazy, wild style like that. So expect Malik Collins to be resigned. I mean, he should be resigned regardless, but especially if we bring in Brian Flores, expect him to be resigned. Expect more of a bounce back year after two mad years from Ross Blacklock. In his third year, expect him to have a really big resurgence. Some other guys like Jonathan Bernard, more of a power rusher. Expect him to be a very good, very big force into this defense. And of course, the cornerback play. In Miami, of course, they got Xavier Howard and a couple other guys. But over there, they really value the cornerbacks a lot in coverage. Sometimes they put them in zone, sometimes they put them in man. Sometimes they even do cornerback blitzes more often than other teams. So expect Lonnie Johnson to be left more like on an island in a way. And I could see them totally bringing back Desmond King, or maybe even going for a big name free agent cornerback. Maybe this offseason isn't the best time to go for one, especially in a rebuilding team. You don't want to spend big money. But I could potentially see them making a run at least at players like maybe JC Jackson from New England, who has previous, I guess, experience with Nick Casario, who is a big part of New England, and then maybe a guy like Carlton Davis, just an extra cornerback depth and very very good cornerback depth, but they would come at a big price. But yeah, just expect more of a blitzing defense, as Anish said. Expect more interior defensive presence. Like last season, we saw some of a presence, especially by Malik Collins, Roy Lopez. But expect more like pressure, more blitzes up the middle, more cornerback blitzes, stuff like that. And the safety play, of course. Miami, they have a very good rookie safety in Javon Holland. So if we go Kyle Hamilton at 3, expect him to be a very, very big presence in his defense. So like pretty much at every level position on the defense, we're gonna have one really, really good defensive lineman, one really, really good linebacker, and one really, really good DB. That's how I would picture them being. Like Miami, of course, they got Xavier Howard in the DBs, Jerome Baker in the linebacking spot, and then on the defensive line they got a couple of different guys, Christian Wilkins, and then of course that guy that they just recently drafted from Miami this past draft. But yeah, the defense is gonna look completely different, as I was saying.
Yeah, and our draft seems to be mainly or should be mainly defense in my opinion. And as far as you mentioned Xavier Howard, he was rumored to like want out of Miami, and he like said like thank you Miami or something. So he could be someone who we could watch out for, seeing as Flores coached him. We'll see about that, but I don't know if they had a great relationship either. But we'll see about that. But as just for free agents, but let's talk about like potential coaching, like who he would bring on as coach, his like coordinators for defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. It was reported that the Texans would try to keep not Lovey Smith, Pep Hamilton, and try to promote him as offensive coordinator. And seeing as Flores didn't do a great job at keeping offensive coordinators, he might take a look at Pep Hamilton, see if he likes him. Definitely see if they kind of mesh well together. And then as far as a defensive coordinator, we were also rumored to target Gerard Mayo, who's currently the linebackers coach, kind of de facto defensive coordinator in New England. He kind of shares responsibilities with Bill Belichick's son, Belichick. So he could be someone who would want like a title upgrade more so at for the Texans. He could be intriguing. He's like another good candidate I'm interested in. We'll definitely make another video about that. But what do you think about those names I mentioned?
Oh yeah, honestly, on paper that looks very, very good. Pep Hamilton, OC, Jerome Mayo, DC, and then Brian Flores, head coach. I feel like he would make this whole team in general just way better, from the defense, offense, all of that. And Pep Hamilton, let's not forget, when he was the OC of the Indianapolis Colts, I think they were like number 8 in terms of offensive ranking in the whole NFL with Andrew Luck. And you could possibly expect something similar like that. Maybe not that high, of course. We still don't have that many pieces on offense. We still don't have the best of offensive line. We don't have the best weapons. And Davis Mills, he's still progressing, trying to get there. But expect this offense to be way better if we are to hire or promote Pep Hamilton to OC. And then on terms of defense, defense coordinator, Gerard Mayo. Gerard Mayo coming from New England. Brian Flores being a former New England guy. Nick Sarah being a former New England guy. Like all of them, they would already instantly have chemistry right off the bat. And it would definitely make this defense better, more energy. We've all seen the videos on like Twitter a Gerard Mayo, hitting Deontay Hightower, like, on the shoulder pads, getting him hyped up, putting energy inside of him. But he's just a very energy slash impactful guy. Like, he's gonna hype up the defense. He's gonna get everybody excited on game days, throughout practice. He's gonna keep everybody like up to date. Like, they're gonna keep all the game plans, and then obviously just all of that stuff. But yeah, I would love those two at OC and BC.
Yeah, granted, we might get more of that title of Patriots South, but honestly, if we're winning and everything is like looking to be headed in the right direction, I don't have any problem with that. To me, the problem with Patriots South is no one's been able to really replicate it. But if it's going in the right direction, as we've seen with Nick Casario, who has given some confidence that the Patriots South might not be so much of a bad thing, then I feel like those worries would go away. And as far as keeping Pep Hamilton, another reason for me is having a known face for Davis Mills, someone he already trusts when experiencing a new coaching regime. I feel like that's very important for a young quarterback. So just so there's not too much turnover, and Pep Hamilton has been known as a quarterback whisperer, would definitely love to keep him in the building. And just like as far as the whole process has gone, like the Texans firing David Culley meant to kind of signified that they already had someone in mind. And with Flores becoming unexpectedly available, it kind of gave them more of a green light to fire Cully on top of the coaching mismanagement, the player mismanagement, whatnot. But as far as Cully, best of luck to Cully in his future endeavors. Really wish the best of him, best for him. But yeah, it kind of seemed that way. Like the Texans already had their eye on someone when they fired Cully. But that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your thoughts on Brian Flores. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you all for watching. Peace.